We are back from break. Thank you, Christy and Megan, for putting together that wonderful video montage scene. That last slide with Stephen Jimenez holding his beautiful baby and their big smiles just brings joy to your heart, and it does never gets old seeing that. So really enjoy that. We'll be showing that again at the end of today's session. So if anyone missed it and wants to see it again, we welcome you to join us. We have more great programming coming up, starting with panel 3, which will feature our MSSA grads talking about stepping up and standing out. And the panel will be led by Christy. So Christy, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Beth. As most of you know, one of my favorite things to do is to talk to our program alumni about their MSSA journey. So I'm really excited to welcome 3 of our MSSA grads today. They're going to be sharing a little bit about their stories from transitioning from the military to the tech industry and what their current companies are doing to support them as veterans. So I would love to welcome Hippolyte, Lisa, and Frankie. And if you guys are able to come on camera, that'd be great. Hey, there's Hippolyte. Great, great. All right. We're going to start with you anyway, Hippolyte. So as soon as everybody else is able to join, we'll jump to them. But we're going to do a little bit of a professional development throwback. Okay? Tell me a little bit about yourself, Hippolyte.
Yeah, hello, Christy. Good evening, all. So I am Hippolyte Judah, and I currently work as a database developer with the Informatic Application Group, TIAG. And I currently work in the vicinity of the Charleston Peninsula in South Carolina. Prior to joining TIAG, I served in the U.S. Army as a healthcare specialist, also known as, also called the combat medic. And during my time in the Army, I worked with military healthcare professionals, including physicians, and we were ensuring the health and safety of service members in the garrison center and in a deployment setting. So I transitioned from the military in 2019, and the MSSA program is that offer me an opportunity for me to enter into the IT work, into the technology workforce as a cloud application developer. And I am glad to be part of this conference, and I will be sharing my journey. Thank you. Back to you.
Wonderful. Chris. Thank you. Thank you. Lisa, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Always an honor to get to talk to fellow veterans in the program. Really appreciate MSSA. So I actually retired from the military in 2022, and I am a tech transitioner, which means my traditional work in the military wasn't tech. But when I found out about MSSA and had the opportunity to join, I started in the server and cloud administration group after briefly studying some, Python, data analytics, and learned about, of course, everything from the fire hose that is MSSA, and ultimately, got to broaden my network through that incredible program, in addition to meeting, the wonderful people here within the MSSA network. Also, the partners that were in the network were huge in my ability to transition successfully out of MSSA, which first led me to Southwest Airlines, saw you out there, Jeremy, and then into consultancy for the government, ultimately working as a program project manager for federal clients in the cleared space.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. And Frankie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, my name is Frankie Beauchamp. I was in the Marine Corps Security Forces. Right now, I'm a cloud support technician for Atmosera. So I graduated about almost 2 years ago now from the MSSA program. I actually transitioned over from another job that I left in banking to the MSSA program, and definitely the program that helped me out the most. I was going to school beforehand and also doing a whole bunch of certifications, and the training, and also the career development. The people I was able to meet was definitely way better than everything else that I experienced. So
That's good to know. I'm glad it was way better. The purpose of the conference today is really to talk about how companies can make things easier for veterans and to bring them on and retain them once they've been hired. So the first thing I kind of want you all to talk about is expand on your military service and what that helped you bring to the table in your current role and how you stand out among your peers that maybe aren't military. So Lisa, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I think that's a great question that we even often overlook ourselves. It's hard for us, right, in our kind of insular bubbles to realize that there are different skills and, certain characteristics that we bring to roles in the civilian sector. One of those, I think, for me, primarily being, I think it translates most clearly to ambition in the civilian sector, but it's really in the military. It's you must continue to get things done, right? So it's a constant ability to sort of maintain pace, sort of an intellectual agility, and you're constantly given tasks which may have ambiguous circumstances surrounding them. So we're very comfortable, asking questions, finding out what needs to be learned, and then attacking, that issue. So that plays really well, obviously, in tech fields, as you can imagine, because a lot of times you have to act when you don't have maybe necessarily all the information, but you have enough to get started. So that works out really well. And that's probably been one of the biggest things that I've brought into my civilian career.
Perfect. Perfect. Now, I know that you said you didn't have a whole lot of tech background, obviously. Logistics is not always technology. So, and Hippolyte, I think you had the same background as far as being a combat medic. There's not a whole lot of IT that's involved in that. So tell us a little bit about what your military service brought to the table.
Yes, Christy. So being a combat medic in the U.S. Army, I acquired a lot of skill, and I brought all those skills to my company. Some of those skills that we usually overlook is teamwork. In the Army, when I was in the Army, you used to work by team. And as a team, every task is defined, and we have to gather and plan, organize, and execute the mission. And while here, moving into the IT world, bringing that skill set into my company, working together with a team of software developers, where we have an agile environment. We have a tester, a database developer, a front end. We all put everything together for the success of the company. And one of the things is like, even though I transition and the civilian world, my company is still working on some of the projects that support our U.S. Armed Force that are in the field. So teamwork is one of that, and then the eager to learn. Also, as a veteran or in the Army, we constantly train. The world is a fast-moving environment. What you learn today, tomorrow you might come and it is something else, and you have to learn to catch up. You have to learn to be on the pace. And that's the same thing that translates in the technology world. Look at today. Yesterday we have a system that was in place. Tomorrow we have a change. You have to be able to learn quickly and adapt and continue the mission. And also there's what we call leadership. Leadership is a very important skill that we acquire in the military, where a leader is somebody who is present and able to work together with other people and get the mission accomplished. So all this, even though I'm not in the Army, I'm a veteran. In my company, I still use all those skill sets to get the mission done and get the work done. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you. That is what Microsoft calls a growth mindset. I'm sure you all remember hearing about that. Perfect. All right. Frankie, what about you? Security forces in the Marine Corps. How did that translate over?
Not too much. So security forces in the Marines is not security like cyber, it's physical security. So we maintained physical security for high value assets, government assets. So some of the good skills, though, of course, in the military that do transition over is the adaptability, right? Um, high stress environments, being able to take on new information and being able to perform at a high level. Another thing that's also really good that sometimes gets overlooked is in the military, it's a whole bunch of different groups of people, right? Different backgrounds. Um, that come together. And most of us join at a really young age. So we get that experience really young where a lot of other people aren't. They're still, messing around a little bit, figuring out what they want to do. There's no choice in that matter. So that really does translate over with us into any real job or career that we go into. Adapting into changing circumstances, being able to pick up from something that we didn't necessarily were trained on, but to pick it up fast and again to perform. I know that that has helped me out the most, is able to do that. And of course, natural leaders, right? Even without having a leadership rank, while if you were in the military, anyone below you, anyone newer than you are a leader too. And a huge amount of groups of people too. So that kind of stuff just comes natural for us when we go into the workforce from coming out the military. So that definitely has helped me out the most. And just being able to not be complacent, right? I know for me and for a lot of us, complacency is just it doesn't go good. I'd rather, yeah, I don't do complacency, and I know a lot of my veteran buddies they don't do complacency either, right? So being able to go into an industry like tech, where complacency is means that you probably won't have a good career too long, is
True.
good, right? Because well, on their free time, on spare time, um, they're looking into new developments, new technologies, and really ways to take that information and bring it back to the workforce and to help out as much as we can.
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to let you keep going. Uh, let's kind of pivot to your organization, to Atmosera. Tell me
Yeah,
a
of
little
course.
bit about how they have made your transition into tech easier as a veteran.
Yeah, so some of the best things that I like the most is really the hybrid work schedule that we have going on. So what that is there's either two halves. You get a one weekend off, like one day of the weekend, and then 2 days out of the week. So for me and for some of the other vets that are there, it definitely helps out with being able to make those appointments for the VA, right? And to do the government related stuff without having to use PTO and to find coverage as well. That helps out tremendously. Also, the culture that they have and the people, right? It's not something that was uh, broken or bad, right? They already had that established. So that helped out a lot, being able to come in there and get that support from a great group of people that are extremely knowledgeable, and they're regular people, right? They're not below themselves or anything like that. They did a great job of retaining that kind of talent, which is really key and important as well, for us to come in. And then, of course, having other veterans around is always a plus, because of
Sure.
that, the common uh, issues that we have gone through and tribulations, I should say. That's great. Something else that's really helped me out is also the policy they have where it's a limited certifications and we do get bonuses on that. So if I want to learn something that is maybe a little bit above where my skill set is, there's no issue with that. They do offer assistance with some of the other administrators or
Okay.
engineers to assist with that. So That has helped me out a lot with gaining the knowledge and side projects, teaming up with those one-on-ones to help me really perform at the level that I am now.
Okay, that's great. So the professional development, I think that's
Yeah.
really important. So
Yeah, that's extremely
Hippolyte,
important.
sorry about that, Frankie. We're coming up on time already. We didn't have a very long time, so we got to rush through. But I really think it's important to hear about TIAG and also Aptive. So Hippolyte, tell us a little bit about how TIAG has made it an easier transition for you.
Yes. Moving from MSSA to TIAG, TIAG put in place all the tools that enable me to succeed in my role. Some of the tools that we have is professional development. We have like LinkedIn Premium that is provided by the company that allow us to go there and learn and study all the skill sets that are related to your job. And from there, I moved in as a junior software developer where I was doing some front end and testing. But in 4 years, I learned more, I used those tools, and today I'm a database developer. And also the culture. TIAG, it has a safe working environment and it is military friendly. So working and having some of your colleagues that you have the same background make you make you succeed in what you are doing. And also the mentorship and the recognition of the work we do. So when you have a mentor that give you critics that are constructive, that help you grow. And also when you get recognized for the work you actually do. So all that has contributed to my success at TIAG.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Beth is on screen, but I really want to finish up with Lisa. Tell us a little bit about how Active Resources has really come along with their veteran initiatives.
Sure. Yeah, I won't be too long. We'll keep Beth on camera. The truth is, your veteran programs are really the meat and potatoes of how we onboard successfully. I can't overstate the importance of them, honestly. It would be really I wouldn't be where I am without veteran assistance program of some kind, right? Whether it's MSSA or there was a warrior hire program, it's a veteran training program at Active Resources. Those programs are really what give us the feeling like, there's a gateway into the organization and we understand the path. It's one thing you get in the military that in the civilian sector is a little lacking sometimes is what road do I need to follow? We're very good at that if you give it to us, but obviously having that opportunity to do that in these organizations is tremendous and it really helps us out a lot. So we appreciate it. Thanks to the employers that do those things. We really appreciate that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Guys, I enjoyed it. I'm going to turn things back over to Beth and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Christy. And Lisa, I would not cut you off. I know you've been through these recent hurricanes we had, and that's the least we can do is support you because you are so dedicated to supporting us. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you all. That was a great panel, and I wish we had more time to hear from each of you, but thank you for all of your insights and your participation.